guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. Today is May 4th, 2017. So we want to thank you to our coverage on Le Pen. We love her and she debated Macron and she laid the smack down on him and it was awesome.
And it depends on who you're listening to because
Well,
even like the New York Times is like, oh, she was like hateful and Macron did well and blah, 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 blah.
Macron.
I don't.
Macron.
Do I have to say macaroni, right?
Macron.
There's been a lot of jokes on, Le Pen saying, you know what, we don't have a student-teacher relationship.
She did not say that.
I don't know if she said that, but we went on Twitter. There's a couple pictures where you've got, it's almost like the media in France has an agenda. Can't quite put my finger on it. We have him shirtless. Macron. There is a French media agenda, so that why do we push so hard for Marine Le Pen? And as Nigel Farage says, if she doesn't win in now, she'll win in 2022.
Exactly.
So you know, here's the thing: the European project it steals people's rights. It's run by a economic totalitarian group, right? And I like what he says here. For 18 years, I have sat in the European Parliament and looked on in wonderment at Jean-Marie Le Pen's regular lunchtime table. Politics aside, when it came to good lunch with food, wine and company, he is certainly a true Frenchman. At no point in time did I want UKIP to do a deal with the French National Front. The party's roots were very deep in Vichy, and I believed anti-Semitism was embedded in its DNA. All this made it a wrong place for UKIP to be. I've always seen Jean-Marie Le Pen as the modern-day Chauvin. And then he brought in, and then there's Marine Le Pen, and she's totally different. She's not anti-Semitic. She loves her country. You've got Brigitte Bardot saying that she grew up and she's French, and she just misses France.
Right.
They don't have France anymore, and there's this violent clash going on between a lot of the French kids who just, they want everything free. They want free housing. They want free school. They want free food. They just, I don't even know what they want to do with their lives.
Right. Speaking of the young French people, I want to bring up this email that we got from one of our viewers. I'm not going to reveal their identity for good reason. But this person is a foreigner who is studying in France at a university there, the University of Bordeaux. And yesterday or 2 days ago when she sent this, all of the students and personnel received the following message from the president of the university inciting everybody to vote for Macron and at least against Le Pen, as he stated. So I'm going to read you his thing. This got translated. Okay. All right. So, dear friends, convinced that the freedom of thoughts is strongly related to the freedom of speech, I have always kept myself from using my position to intervene in the political debate, respecting the views of everybody. The same commitment drives me today to speak and alert my community over the consequences of the vote next Sunday on the education and research and the future of our university. The program of Marine Le Pen and the views of the National Front are, from my point of view, incompatible with the values of our university that we have so far defended, nor with the ambitions of our university. How to defend the openness of a country that will close its borders? ? How to advertise the progress of science and education under the tutorship of a government that can deny the history and doubt the results of research? What's the future of a university out of Europe and its programs of research and education? My position is not an isolated position. It is associated to that defended by the Conference of University Presidents that called to vote against the extremism of Le Pen's candidature, to that of our directors and of the big research organisms such as the CNRS, INSERM, INRA, INRIA, the call of the Conference of the Directors of the French Engineering Schools, and of the Conference of the Great Schools, or that of the research universities, of which we are a part. Myself being, let's see, I think that's the end of where, I'm not sure. Myself being an immigrant at a period where Spain and European countries suffered from nationalism, discrimination, and putting the elite aside, I can't today stay aside and watch the history being repeated. It is not my job to give lessons to anybody, and every one of you must guard his arbitrator the ability to express his convictions. It is my responsibility, however, to call the university's community to stop by their votes the access of Marine Le Pen to the presidency of the French Republic.
There is such a horrible push here. I mean, that got sent out to the universities.
Right.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
Right.
How do you even, I mean, and it goes on to say, Macron goes on to say, he has his deplorables moment, calling everybody who would vote for Le Pen hateful cowards.
Yeah.
Hateful cowards. He says that latched out of the Front National voters, branding them anti-France and true enemies. In a moment resembling Hillary Clinton's infamous deplorables comment, Mr. Macron, who currently leads the Front National leader, took the stage.
In the polls, Marine.
They're here. It's they. It's they who are our true enemies. They're calling other French people their true enemies, which is very interesting because even when we were having our vote, we knew that we didn't want Hillary Clinton to be president.
Hillary Clinton is my enemy. People that voted for Hillary Clinton, they're not my enemy.
Exactly. You can't say
you can't just say half of our
people.
country is your enemy.
Powerful, organized, skillful, determined. You pass them in the streets, in the countryside, or on the web. Most are often well hidden. As hateful as they are cowardly, you know them. The party of the ancient agents of disaster, the fearmongers, the French far right. It's here. And he called for a spirit of resistance. A word often employed by the hard left Antifa activists. You saw what happened. What's interesting is he says they use anger and they propagate lies and they fan hatred, which is very different from what I have heard from people in France who say, listen, this whole, what our American neocon wars have caused this huge, big influx of young, healthy, migrants, male migrants, and when you listen to these stories, they are damaging people's homes. You see the videos, you look at Kali, it's just a trashy mess. They are jumping on, imagine going down the highway and
you see people jumping on semi-trucks and opening them up and stealing things, or jumping on cars, and I mean just a mass amount of people.
And they're pushing things in front of the road so that you stop your vehicles.
Right.
It boggles my mind that this is not a thing.
It's like a swarm of locusts, really.
You know, our friend, our contact in France said, you know, before this mass migration, there was immigration. And people
there was national
came,
pride, even.
and they wanted to be French. You don't go, most of these migrants who are being interviewed, they don't want to stay in France. They want to go to England. They want to go wherever the benefits are better, which is not why you go somewhere. You don't go to where you're going to get better housing or a bigger stipend. And then they fight and they go on the streets and they demand more and more. And this is what Le Pen is saying. I'm going to bring you France back. I'm going to bring you safety. There's been so many, I mean, there's been attacks, things like that. It's not safe there. So when people are rightfully calling for something, imagine your neighborhood where you've had all these people just coming over a state border and taking over your home, your neighborhood. You know, and so, you know, that's just one thing. Le Pen talks more about the EU and how it's damaged French. I mean, everyone understands, there's been over like thousands of farmers who have committed suicide,
right?
Because of the EU regulations. The EU regulations are they're
way too
hurting
harsh.
Just the average farmer, and there's
an agenda. It's the same Monsanto globalist agenda.
I know you've got, you know, olive oil is regulated and this is regulated. So I think that's kind of it for right now on the French election.
We're not going to be able to bring you their interview because it was really long, but we will try to link to one if you didn't see it that has English subtitles.
But I wanted to bring you this. Obama again is interfering, and it's like, it's okay for Obama to call up Macron twice, and then there's one more picture I wanted to show you. This is what the relationship between Germany and France will look like with Macron as president. This is not a joke. He's sitting there at this woman's feet. It's so disgusting. It's
because
so
he has that beautiful little boy syndrome where he probably sits at the feet of his wife slash mommy like that as well. He has it's like a little birdie. Can you feed me? Will you feed me?
Remember, he met his wife when he was 15, and she was 40, and she seduced him.
And she was his teacher. If y'all missed that,
so to end this up, I would say Le Pen did say during the debate, she said, "You are going to have a woman
leading this country."
No, what
not president.
She said is, "You're going to have a woman leader of France. It's going to be Merkel, or it's going to be me. It's not going to be Macron. He is a puppet." So that's why his pictures everywhere. Craziness.
You got the 3M option: Marine, Merkel, or Macron. Choose Marine.
Choose wisely.
All right, you guys. This is Leah Michelle signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it is not just a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring that little bell for notifications. Find us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We love you. God loves you. And God bless.
I was called